All right, it is Bullheaded time, season 1, episode 8. We are rolling, moving, and grooving. We are ever so close to that double digits, man. So this debate is actually going to be probably one of our best, if not our best, because this is, we like to say we debate all sports, right? Baseball sometimes, probably not, but football and basketball. This is a big basketball podcast, and we are in the full swing of things with the bubble winding down, 8th games being played, which means the regular season is practically over. So we are going to focus in on those bubble topics for the debates this week. So before we kick off, just a brief intro. I'm Chaz here with Bush and Zhu. If you haven't tuned into Bullheaded before, we go tit for tat on some of the hottest debates in sports. Like I said, we debate all types of sports, but this week we are going to be zoning in on NBA basketball. So without further ado, let's get into our first topics for this week. It is around some major beef in the league. So these go back to storylines that are from even before this regular season in some cases. You have two huge rivalries between Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar, and Paul George, PG13. That's one big beef. And you have TJ Warren and Jimmy Butler as another huge beef. Both of these carried into the bubble, made some major waves, and you even saw it went on social media between Paul George and Damian Lillard. Family got involved. It was messy. They had to have a private DM convo and get it sorted out. But it all started with Dame choking against the Clippers this year after knocking them out of the playoffs last year. And PG13 and Pat Bev chirped him hard, and now he's gone nuclear. So without further ado on that first one, who do you guys think won that beef battle? Who was it, PG13 or Dame Lillard? Who's the winner there? Zoo, let's go to you first.
Oh, this is so easy. He's talking to Damian Lillard, a rap god off the court and on the court, man. This dude, I am so proud of this man because when he missed those 2 free throws, that was embarrassing, man. You cannot miss 2 clutch free throws in a game that is going to decide your bubble life. He missed 2 free throws. He choked. He straight up choked. This guy is an 80 to 90% free throw shooter. So he flat out choked. Because you saw him when he shot the free throw, he shot it short. Like he knew who was missing because he choked. The guys on the Clippers got in the guy's head. He choked under pressure. This guy's supposed to be Dame time. He didn't show up as Dame time. He got a flat out 0 on 2 free throw attempts. That's embarrassing. I can make at least 1 free throw, man. Come on, Dame, get it done. But that dude's flat out responded, man. Because you know what that man did? He dropped 80. The next game, he dropped 60, man. And you're talking about Paul George, a man that does not show up in the playoffs. That dude doesn't show up in the playoffs. He wet the bed against Donovan Mitchell. We already talked about that. That dude just gets LeBron James shooting game winners over that dude. That dude just loses, man. And if I want to get off the court, I'm going to get off the court, man. When the beef happened between his baby mama and Dame's sister, and we're going to get into that. He got a stripper pregnant. Are you kidding me? Paul George PG13. He got a stripper pregnant, and then he got and they had some legal issues off the court. So you talking about that? Man, come on, PG13. Come on. Dame Dollar can write a whole rap song about your off the court issues. Like on the court, that's easy. Like, have you seen all those game winners shot over PG13? Devin Booker, perfect example. But there's like a YouTube highlight video of game winner shot over Paul George. It's actually pretty funny because it's always on that dude for some reason.
I think it could be monetized. I think it could monetize it. It'll be over 10 minutes, man. But look, dude, Dame has been a straight killer towards the end of this bubble, man. It's been amazing to watch. I mean, you know, I watched that Clippers game live when, you know, Patrick Beverly and PG are just laughing over in the corner, man. And they're just this guy comes back. Talk about, you know, just putting the past in the past and being able to move immediately onto the next game. Nothing phases Damian Lillard. And I think that's why a lot of people need to put more respect on his name. As he said, man, when he dropped that 61, I was like, this guy's going God mode. Damian Lillard won that beef on a one-on-one sense. Got to give PG credit, though. He's on the better team. They're likely going to be making it a lot further than the Blazers. But when you're talking about a one-on-one beef, Damian Lillard showed up, showed out, and literally pulled a Michael Jordan. He averaged 55 in back-to-back games, man. It blows my mind to watch him play sometimes. And he was getting every roll. He was getting balls that hit off the back rim, jump 10 feet in the air, and it just comes down and swishes. And it looks like it looks like it was normal to him. That's the thing about that I love about Lillard is he's so composed. He was composed, maybe not on Twitter, but on the court. He knows what he's doing, and he knows that the best way to win a beef is in your actions. You just show up, show out, get it done. And that's it. And he did that. And like I said, Paul George, he's probably going to end up, quote unquote, winning the beef in the long run. He could make it deeper into the playoffs. The Blazers, if they lose tonight, they may not even have a chance in this play-in game, right?
Man, they ain't losing to Brooklyn
Lillard,
Nets.
but he's been on a tear. You never know. The Suns are 8-0 in this bubble, man. I expected that.
Dude,
if Lillard loses this game, then he loses the beef. He loses the beef in the long run.
Dude, the Brooklyn Nets has no reason to try, though. They have no reason to try because they already have a playoff spot. Blazers, they need to win. The Brooklyn Nets, they're going to be having their bench play, man. There's legitimately no reason for them to play, so they're going to get a bunch of rest. And, yeah, the Blazers are going to win. Like, you don't even need to watch the game. I know the Blazers are going to win, man.
Pat, you still there?
Oh, just started. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But dude, it obviously I think everybody wants to see the Blazers Suns play. I think that's like the matchup that everybody wants. But the Grizzlies have kind of locked in, which is a little weird to me. They're 2-8 or 2-6 in the bubble. Yeah, they're in. But dude, Lillard, I mean, he's arguably the coldest player in the league. TJ Warren kind of had that in the first half. Obviously, Booker's been consistent throughout, but Lillard's just stepped up to God level. It blows my mind, man.
He got me hyped, man. He got me hyped when he dropped 60, man. I was even rooting for the Blazers, but he got me so hyped, man. That was the biggest Blazers fan he was balling out there, man. God.
It's some competitive NBA basketball, man. I feel like we haven't had competitive NBA basketball, obviously because of the quarantine, but it just feels a little different now. Maybe it's all this beef going on Twitter and all that, and people have nothing better to do in the bubble, but people taking to Twitter, man. I'm all for it if it's going to bring about great gameplay.
Yeah, unbelievable basketball, man. I love that Dallas Maverick game versus the Portland Trail Blazers. That was one of the greatest regular season games I've seen in a long time.
Well, so that's part one of everything, right? Because you got part one with Dame and PG. Part two goes into arguably even more heated, more subtle jabs between TJ Warren and Jimmy Buckets. They have been beefing since their last game. They got up in each other's faces. And after TJ Warren exploded in the bubble, Jimmy Butler brought him back to earth in what was Jimmy Buckets' first game back in the bubble after a couple of games of injury. So I'm curious, too, on that sense. There are no game-winning shots there, but who wins the beef between Warren and Butler there?
Man, I got to go with Jimmy Buckets, man. Jimmy Buckets got into TJ Warren's head already, man. I watched that game. TJ Warren was very, very passive, man. In his first couple of games, that dude was shooting 15 to 20 shots a game, man. He was going for 30 points. This dude only attempted 14 shots. That means Jimmy Butler got in that guy's head, and obviously his team lost by over 20 points. So obviously his team needed him to get buckets. And Jimmy Butler, man, that guy's a dog, man. As a former Chicago Bull, I got a lot of love for Jimmy Bucket, man. It's a lot of love. He went from a scrub to a star, man. He was legitimately a scrub. Yep. 2 points a game off the bench. Like, this guy was irrelevant, man. But this dude worked his butt off. Now he's an all-star. He's a perennial all-star now, man. And this dude talks so much trash. I love this guy. This guy doesn't back down from nobody. Like, this guy doesn't back down for LeBron James, man. You think he's going to back down from TJ Warren? Man, he's going to sun TJ Warren in the playoffs. That's what's going to happen, man.
Because the beef started back in January, right? When Jimmy Butler blew him a little kiss as he TJ Warren got ejected back then, right? So it's been building up for about 7 months, up until that point. It's going to be really fun to, because they may end up, right? Are they meeting in the first round? I don't know if
first round guaranteed. First round guaranteed.
East yet. I think they have, but yeah, there you go, right? So we're going to see more. But when you're talking about a beef, I think this is honestly even a better example than the Dame versus PG, because we got TJ Warren and Jimmy Butler guarding each other, right? Trying to score. But Jimmy Butler, as he said back in January, he goes, this guy's not in my league. He's not on my level on both offensive or defensive. But Jimmy Butler proved he didn't have to put up 30 points a game to win this beef, man. He shut the hottest player in the league down for a game. And he knew. He's like, my team won. We came out on top. TJ Warren, sit your ass down, man. You know, you've had 6 good games, all right? Earn your contract before you start talking to me, right? That's what he's thinking. TJ Warren, but like we've said, he's a hot player right now. Interested to see if maybe he comes back and gives Jimmy a couple jabs. But as you said, Zoo, Jimmy is a warrior of the mind, man. He knows how to get in people's heads, get under their skin, and kind of freak them out a little bit and scare them out of making all the moves they might want to on the court.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like, I got no doubts Miami Heat are going to beat the Indiana Pacers. I got no doubt in my body, man.
No doubt.
Not even a little doubt. Like, TJ Warren, he ain't putting up – if he puts up 30 points a game against Miami, woo! Man, I got to give him major props for that.
If he does that.
Oh, my Lord, man. He winning the beef. If he drops 30 points, they're winning the series. They're winning the series if he drops 30 points per game. I got to give TJ Warren a little credit though. When he's determined, he's got that killer look in his eyes though, man. Everyone's like, you don't want to mess with TJ Warren when he's popping off. What? He was shooting like 60% from the field for the first 6-7 games. Like that blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, yeah, we know this guy's putting up points, but talk about efficiency too. And all it took was one of the best defenders in the league who got a little chirping back and forth with him. And TJ Warren got shut down, man. This is an easy one to Jimmy Butler, in my opinion, but we'll be able to see a little bit more in the next coming weeks.
So that is easy beef settled. But P. Bush, you were talking about efficiency from the field, right? TJ Warren shooting like 60%. This guy doesn't necessarily shoot 60+% for his career. Not really close to it. He's not got great shot selection, but our next debate is around Carmelo Anthony. One player that I love, especially as a Knicks fan, Melo, recently just hit 15th all-time in scoring, which is a huge feat in the NBA. Like you were talking, you're now top 15. That's undisputed. That's fact in the scoring list. But the question is, the guy still hasn't won anything. He is still active, though. Still got a shot with the Blazers. But that's really what he's known for, scoring. So I'm curious what you guys think. What is Carmelo Anthony's legacy now that he's hit this certain feat? Being in the league for so long, getting to this list. What do you think of his legacy? P. Bush, let's go to you first on this.
I've always been rather critical of Carmelo because, and I saw something that Colin Cowherd said this week about Melo and his role kind of on the Blazers at this point, is that there's 2 types of stars in the NBA. And he kind of narrowed it down to there are winning stars and there are stats stars. And Carmelo Anthony throughout his career has pretty much always been a stats star. The man can fill up a box score. As you said, he's top 15 scorer of all time now, statistically, right? And it'll take a lot of years for that to be moved around, right? It's not something that just is ever changing year in and out. But this guy has really, you can tell, he's always kind of been a money guy, big market guy who kind of wants the limelight. And I don't know if he just had humbling experiences with OKC and even in Houston. But dude, he's taken a step back to the point where he can still put up numbers, but he's more mature now. And I think you can see that just on the court. Obviously he's a man, he can do what he wants right on the court, but just his leadership has definitely stepped up, and you can see how that's affected Lillard, McCollum, Gary Trent Jr. He's got a lot of people that he can mentor and kind of hone his craft. So for me, his legacy is a Hall of Famer. He's, undisputedly one of the best scorers of all time, but it's taken him a long time, but he's started to change that mentality a bit. And, maybe the Blazers aren't 100% a contender, but it's just good to see him kind of coming into his own and being able to play for a team. And it looks like he's having fun. So he's one of the best small forwards of all time. I don't know what else to say besides that, but I just have appreciated how he's kind of changed his mentality and his game over the years.
Okay. You can appreciate Carmelo Anthony. But as a Chicago Bulls fan that had an opportunity to add Carmelo Anthony to the Bulls in that legendary free agency with Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah, he said, nah, I'm going to pass. Yeah. And do you know what he said during the regular season? I want to win a championship. I want to win a ring.
Stop.
Winning's my number one priority. And then what happened? He got exposed. He took the money from the New York Knicks, that max contract extension of $120+ million. And he took that bag. He took it home. And that was he's such a liar, man. He said winning was his number one priority this year, and he went back to the Knicks. The worst management. You can ask Chaz, do you agree with me? One of the worst management in the NBA, and he chose that because he wanted the bag. Okay, Melo's a nice guy. Good for Melo. Melo is a philanthropist. Good for Melo. But we talking about winning. And he had an opportunity to win with the Chicago Bulls, and he passed on it. And not only that, he had a chance to go to the Miami Heat to form a big three with Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. And do you know what happened? I want that 5-year max money, man. That's what he said. And then Chris Bosh was like, I'm going to take a shorter deal.
His ego got in the way.
D-Wade, shorter deal. And do you know what that happened? They got 2 titles for that sacrifice, man. They sacrificed money for rings, which is well respected, even though I hated the Miami Heat because they whoop my Bulls every single year like a little baby. Man, the Bulls got their butts smacked every single year. It was sad, man. It was sad. But it is respectful what they done because they gave up millions and millions of dollars for rings. And Melo, you're a Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Agreed. But you could have been up there with the LeBron and D-Wade tier. But nah, you're the tier below, which is okay. It's okay.
We're making the same argument, Andy. We're making the same argument.
About Melo?
We're making the same argument, man. I'm saying he's always been a stats guy. He wants the money.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't ruin his legacy.
Oh, man, he loves money a little too much, man. A little too much. Man, all he had to do was sign a shorter deal, and he got to play with his 2 best friends in the NBA. And he's like, nah, I want that guaranteed money, man. I want that financial security. You're young. Take risks. Come on, Melo. Come on. And he had a second chance, man. He had a second chance opportunity. He had a second chance to come to the Chicago Bulls. And he denied it again, man. You make the mistake once. Okay, make the mistakes once. Okay, but twice, shame on you, Melo. Shame on you. And don't cry about, I never had enough talent to win a ring. Shut up. You had opportunities, and you said no to them twice.
Hey, listen, he did play with Derrick Rose later on.
No, that was past, man. Dude, that was Derrick Rose disappearing, man. Missing practice. Dude, this is the Derrick Rose that had a game winner on the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. They won 6 games, man. And if Carmelo Anthony was on that team, they would have at least won 7. If it won 7, that's a coin flip. That's a coin flip series right there, man.
First of all, they should have won that series even without Carmelo Anthony, right? All right, but I have to make this point on Carmelo because, and this was a very critical aspect of what his move was to New York, and I don't want to place it all on this, but his wife wanted to be in New York for her own business, and I'm not saying that was the only reason he decided because, one, it's the biggest market in the country, right? He's going to make a ton of money there in his contract, along with endorsements. But his wife wanted to be there too, man. She didn't want to live in the Windy City where it's cold all the time. Not saying New York's any better. But New York is the Mecca, man. New York is the Mecca. New York is the Mecca of the United States. It's the business hub. It has everything there that they would want.
It's a 2-hour flight from Chicago, Melo.
Oh my God. Who cares?
They can have 2 houses, man. They can afford 2 places, man. 2 nice places.
And at that point, Carmelo wanted to be the face of the franchise. If you notice, Amari was on that team. Amari was on that team. He would not have been the face on the Bulls.
Yes, he would have.
No.
Melo was in his prime. Melo was still
no. Derrick Rose was the guy.
He was the guy. He was MVP. He got injured, had a bunch of irrelevant seasons, and then he came back, and then he had a decent playoff run. So he was like borderline all-star. Carmelo Anthony was still an all-star at that time of his career. He had a wingman in Jimmy
True.
Buckets, man. Jimmy Butler could have guarded LeBron, and then Melo could have scored on LeBron. It was the perfect combination, man. He needed to play no defense because he had Jimmy Butler as a wing defender. What could have been, man. That's a what if that I'm so mad at Melo. I'm so mad at him.
No, I'm saying he should have made the free agency switch the first time, though. He should have made it the first time when Rose was in his prime. I think that's the biggest issue or the biggest mistake that he made, because playing with Rose at that time, that would have put the Bulls in serious contention, who were already serious contenders, obviously. But that would have put them right up there with the Miami Heats, with the Joakim Noah and all that. So, I mean, it's a bunch of what ifs. Melo is still a Hall of Famer, man, but he's made the decisions that he should have made when he was younger are now kind of coming to, but I think it's just a little too late for him. I don't know. There's really nothing. He's not on a team that's, going to be contending this year. Where else is he going to go? So
he ain't getting a ring. And he's going to regret that because you know why? All his buddy got rings, man. They're going to be at Christmas dinner with the boys, and then LeBron got his rings, Chris Bosh with his rings, D-Wade with his rings, and Melo being all sorry by himself. He's going to feel real sorry.
No, it'll be Chris Paul. Him and Chris Paul hanging out with no rings, man.
But at least Chris Paul went to the Rockets. He went to win a title. He demanded a trade. And they were close. They were close.
Harden
they went for it. Man, don't you disrespect James Harden again? Have you seen that, man? He plays defense. He plays defense this year, man. Have you seen him?
Dude, I would hope so. He's played 8 games. He's had 5 months off. Dude, he's got the legs underneath him.
Defended Giannis Antetokounmpo, man. He shut that boy down, man. You saw that play. Giannis in the post trying to get a bucket. Turnover. James Harden, man. Elite superstar.
I think the Thunder are literally going to give them a series, and they could win in 7. So we'll see how it plays out. I don't believe in the Rockets.
Russell Westbrook's injured. That's a big caveat, man. His second best player is injured.
Okay. It's not my fault. I'm just saying I'm not picking the Rockets. That's their fault. That's like saying, the Bulls back in 2012, they weren't going to win a championship without Derrick Rose. It's like, yeah, of course they wouldn't. Right? So why would you pick them? Don't be hyping up Harden. He's not going to carry him to a playoff or a championship on their own.
He'll be putting up 40. I'm telling you that, man. 30 to 40 points a game against the.
I don't care. He's a stat star. He's a Carmelo Anthony.
No, do not say that, man. Do not compare James Harden to Carmelo Anthony, man. They are different breeds, man. James Harden is a passer. What?
He can. That's not his first choice.
10 assists? What are you talking about, man?
That's not his first choice, man.
Listen, we could get into Harden.
He's to score the ball.
We get into Melo, Harden all day, but Melo is at least breeds into this next conversation of starters, right? Because he has been a pretty solid starter in the bubble. James Harden's been a pretty solid starter in the bubble. We got some conversation though of guys who have busted in the bubble, guys who really even shouldn't be starting in a team that's going to be on the playoffs. So I'm curious what you guys think. Who is the worst starter on an NBA team right now in the bubble? There are a lot of guys to choose from here. Zhu, so why don't we go to you first? Who has been just awful?
Man, I've been watching some Grizzlies games because I like watching John Morant. But his wingman, Dylan Brooks, and Kyle Anderson, man, these guys do not deserve to start on an NBA basketball team. Kyle Anderson is so bad on offense. He looks lost, man. He looks like a foreigner in a different world, man. What is he doing, man? This guy looks so lost. My Lord. On offense, he looks off. Defense, irrelevant. Skinny dude, no muscle. Can't shoot the 3. I don't even know how Kyle Anderson got a contract, man. He got a great contract from the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies just love paying money to irrelevant small forwards, man. And the last one they paid was Chandler Parsons. And now they signed this dude, Kyle Anderson, man. Jesus Christ, this dude is bad at basketball. I'm sorry. Popovich made him look playable. But on the Grizzlies, man, I feel bad for Ja, man. I feel so bad for Ja that his wings are Kyle Anderson and Dylan Bricks, man. I'm sorry. They just
Dylan
man,
Bricks.
that dude just loves shooting, man. Every time that brother catches the ball, he chucks up a three. Like every time, man. He thinks he's like, yeah, he is, man. Dude, he thinks he's
a black hole.
He thinks he's Damian Lillard. He's a black hole. That just, oh my Lord, man. I feel bad for Ja. I'm surprised they're still in the playoff run, man. Because, man, not gonna lie, that Grizzlies team is pretty awful. Especially without Triple J. They're pretty awful, man. It's a terrible team. If the Blazers lose in the play, if they lose in the play-in game, that's shameful.
Yeah, they're depleted.
That is so shameful, man. That team is bad. Like, do you know who else they got? Anthony Tolliver starting now. How is Anthony Tolliver still in the NBA, man?
Yeah, that's true.
Every time I'm like, how is that dude was in like NBA Live 06? How is Tolliver still playing? I don't get it, man. Congrats to that guy, because that's the ultimate NBA veteran, man. Oh my Lord. Good for Anthony Tolliver, but man, just the Grizzlies like forwards right now. Just all of them. So bad. So those are my picks.
I think they're pretty solid, man.
Zoo, the Grizzlies guards was like the first thing that came to mind for me because they've been painful to watch. But I'm gonna go based on like expectation versus how they're playing, and that's my boy Lonzo Ball. That man has been struggling as of late, man. He has been struggling. He's had one where he scored over 10 points. One game out of 8. And it was 16 points. He's not even – he's had, I think, 2 decent assist games. He's shooting 30% from the field. 30% from the field. That is atrocious. This guy's hyped up all the time. He's going to be the next big thing. His dad's hyping him up, all this stuff. It just looks like he's kind of checked out to me. I don't really know what else to say for that. But I mean, obviously, I don't think Zoo and you and I agree on this, that we didn't think the Pelicans were going to be making the playoffs. And maybe that's kind of what played into his mindset. But Lonzo has been struggling, man. And it's not like Zion's really been there to help him. But he's alongside an all-star in Brandon Ingram. They should be doing something. He should be getting assists. He should be taking better shots. Obviously, it's not like he's being extremely inefficient by shooting 20 shots a game, but the shots that he is taking, he's not making them. So he needs to either step up his game, or I think he's officially going to move to the bust status for me.
Oof. Definitely, man. I'm already saying Lonzo Ball is a bust, man. Do you know why? Because he was drafted in front of Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is a franchise-changing player, and they took Lonzo Ball, man. I'm sorry. Like, LeVar, props. Marketing got his boy a second overall, and that dude might get LaMelo number 1 overall. Like, that might happen of his marketing abilities. Because Lonzo Ball, I thought he was going to be the next Jason Kidd, man. A guy that plays defense, gets rebounds, but this guy just has no offensive shooting ability, man. He can't shoot. He's bad at layups. He's scrawny. He just looks checked out on offense, doesn't drive to the basket. The guy is very passive. I'm just like, man, you're 6'6". Like, you got good length, man. You should be able to use that size to your advantage to get to the bucket. But, man, he's a good athlete. Like, he got hops, too. So I don't know why he's so passive, man. Like, he's so passive. And that jump shot got slightly better after that ugly form. They got a little straightened that baby out. But, man, that shot is still a little suspect. Still can't hit free throws, man. Like, what point guard shoots 50% from the free throw line? That's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing, man. Come on, man. I think the only guy that shoots that bad is Ricky Rubio, like Anthony Roberson, man. These are some of the worst shooters I've ever seen in my entire life, man. Dude, have you seen Anthony Roberson shoot free throws? The dude shoots like 1 for 10.
It's ugly,
legit, man. Woo, shoot a little. Oh my Lord, man.
You would think having Rachel Demita as a shooting coach would help, but it hasn't.
Oh man. Yeah, she's definitely a better shooter than him, man.
Dude, like, no doubt.
Rachel, I seen her ball. She's a better shooter than Roberson, which is so sad. So sad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Roberson.
So yeah, I mean, we got some pretty bad starters in
Dude,
there.
I just think
Melo's
I
not
think
there.
Lonzo. No,
Pat, what were you gonna say?
no. I was just gonna say that I think Lonzo. It almost looks like he's kind of in a lazy mindset. I don't know. It's just kind of the way he walks on the court, just the way he handles himself. I was watching some highlights of him, and once I started watching it, I was like, "Yep, he's definitely the worst starter for me." It's just his expectations are so high, and maybe that's just the fault of the media and his dad and all that. But he's not living up there. He's not living up to it for me. So it's been pretty rough to watch him.
Yeah, dude, single digits, man. Do you know what Charles Barkley would say? Triple single, man. That's what Lonzo Ball's been doing, getting triple singles, man. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. Yep. Feel bad for the dude, man. Because he might not get a massive contract extension because he plays like this. If I was the Pelicans, I'm not giving him more money.
Yeah, I guess why not? Yeah,
$15 million for Lonzo Ball? Hell no.
Listen,
hell no, man.
If what's his name though? Chandler Parsons get a max, and if it seems like who's the guy who seems to get a max contract every single year?
Al Horford.
Al Horford, but I'm talking about.
I'm not a fan of Al Horford either. That dude, I'm putting him in this. Actually, no, he's off the bench. That dude sucks too, man. My God, Al Horford, man, most overrated player I've ever seen in my entire life. Al Horford.
Oh my God.
God, my Lord.
That's just how it is, though. But yeah, guys, that's our time. We got NBA bubble discussion there. Next week when we tune in, it's going to be all about NBA playoffs coming up because that is going to be in full swing. We'll know what happened in the seeding game, what happened with all of our first round matchups. A lot of them are locked in, but it's going to be go time next Thursday / Monday when the podcast is released. So, guys, if you tune into this podcast on YouTube a little bit early while we stream, thank you guys for checking that out. All we do is ask that you subscribe so you stay up to date on all of the notifications of when we go live. And if you're listening Monday and forward on our podcasting platforms, whether that's Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, any major podcasting platform, you name it, and we are there. Please just be sure to drop a 5-star review on whatever platform that is and let us know what you enjoyed about the show so we know what to keep doing moving forward. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to Bullheaded episode 8. We'll be back next week to discuss hot debates on NBA playoffs. But until then, guys, stay safe. We love you, and we will talk to you next week.